How to become a health coach and live the life of your dreams. Now, this episode is going to be applicable to any type of coach, any type of leader, but specifically towards health coaching because that's what I've done. And there's a lot of cool tactics to actually become this and overcome your own story. Most of us in this space tend to get there due to some type of health issue ourselves or that of a loved one. And it is through overcoming these issues that we tend to get super passionate and want to help others. So without further ado, the first step is to actually overcome your own story. Now, you do not have to be perfectly healed in order to help someone, right? As long as you're on the path. But when you actually heal yourself or help someone else, it gives you a tremendous amount of power and inner authority because you've walked the path and you know what to do, you know what not to do. I mean, for me, overcoming my story with Lyme disease, that's how I learned all these tools. That's how I got super passionate and really woke up to my purpose. Another thing is that you don't need some type of fancy degree to help people, right? Before I became a health coach, I would just help people locally. If people had questions, they don't know who to go to. Just being kind and generous with what you know, having a genuine heart that wants to help. And then if you want to take it in the professional realm, we'll get into that further, but I recommend getting certified for that. Now, when it comes to education about health, real talk, I learned almost everything outside of the certification I got in terms of the wellness information. And I'm constantly reading, listening to podcasts myself, learning, growing, and experimenting, right? Putting this into action is the most important thing. But when it comes to certifications, there are some things you need to know. First, I need to address what not to get. Nutritionists and dietitians, they typically go to the university route to get their degree. They do this with good intentions, but they don't realize that the information that they're getting is wildly inaccurate. The education is actually funded by processed food companies like I Can't Believe It's Not Butter, General Mills, Coca-Cola. Now, when they fund the education, they can control what is actually being taught to students. The food pyramid itself is funded by General Mills, which is why grains are on the bottom. You think they're going to tell you not to eat cereal? This is why you have to go to alternative sources in order to get certified. There are many great certifications out there. But there are some things to look out for. And by the way, if you want to learn more about how all of these industries are funded by processed food and education is wildly misguided, I actually did an interview with Michelle Hearn a while back, and she wrote a book on this called The Dietitian's Dilemma. We talk about this a lot further, and it's nuts. I'll link to that in the show notes as well. So what you want to look out for is making sure that they practice ancestral health. So the practice of nutrition, sleep, exercise, really what our ancestors have done, what is tried and true, finding foundational principles. This is the only way you're going to get accurate information. Also, it's good to make sure that they integrate business within there so you can learn how to do business with the coaching. Because if you're just taught the health coaching and you don't know how to start anything, that's an issue as well. In addition, you want to make sure they teach you how to coach. Coaching is a skill in of itself, and many people are needing to learn this as well. Some certifications also do mental and spiritual health. They incorporate that, which is really holistic in my mind. And the only certification that I actually found that does all this is the Institute of Transformational Nutrition, which is what I got certified by, ITN, and it's funded by Cynthia Garcia. The Institute is also nationally accredited, which means that you can go anywhere and still practice health coaching, because a lot of the certifications, you only can practice in certain states, and you don't really want that. Also, if anything ever happens to the school, you're still certified, and you can't say that for other schools. So that's really important. And there's always a lot of support there. They help you with any question you may have, so highly recommend them. I can link to that as well. So let's get into health coaching specifics. What does that actually mean? So health coaching is about personalized solutions and support for optimizing health. A coach listens, asks questions, and find out any blocks they may be in the way, supports them in finding answers, holds them accountable. Coaching is not a one-size-fits-all approach, and everyone has their own unique goals. Health coaching is not consulting. Coaches do not have all the answers. It's more so about listening, asking questions, and guiding them to their own answers. Because the reality is everyone is their own expert on them. Coaches are not medical professionals. They can't diagnose, treat, or cure things. Although that's just some medical nonsense right there. Number 3, they're not cheerleaders in the sense that they don't hold you accountable. Of course, you're always going to be encouraging, but it's about providing a plan, a strategy, and a model to create a solution to a problem. So in terms of business, there are many different flavors that you can do this in. You can do one-on-one, group coaching, partner coaching. You can also branch out, write a book, start a blog, create a podcast. The great thing is you can choose what you want your business to look like, and it's up to you. Do in alignment what is with your own idea of success. So what are 3 important skills that don't just apply to health coaching but all coaches? So number 1, we're going to have listen. Now this is perhaps the most important skill. Listening to your clients enables them to feel seen and heard. Also, you'll be able to respond better because you're not always thinking about the next response. You're kind of in the flow. Number 2 is empathy. Knowing your client is human and treating them that way is very important. We all have things that we're going through, and we always need to adapt to things and adjust the protocol as needed. There are always emotions that could come up, challenges for the client. It's always important to be present and a guiding light. Number 3 is be the model. Now this is the foundation of being a great coach. You actually have to live this and practice this. You must do the work to transform your own health and generally only teach what you've actually done. When you are the model, you have much more credibility and people are much more likely to listen to you very intentionally. All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning into the show. For more, you can head over to anthonygastella.com for articles, coaching, and other free resources. Also, if you can, leave a review for the show, let people know what you think, and I would appreciate that so much. Support the mission of freedom. Thanks for being on this mission with me, and I promise to give you more powerful, empowering, great content to help transform your life. Thanks for tuning in.